my darlings, hope you're all doing well. Bless Julie here with another pick a card reading. And in this one we're going to be taking a look at what is it that your future self wants to warn you about. What is it that you need to know and need to hear right now. So this is going to be a general reading. Keep that in mind. So only take what's going to resonate with you. Leave the rest out on the table. Okay, we're going to have 3 options for today's reading. This is option number 1 with the citrine crystal. Option number 2 with an amethyst, and option number 3 with an angel or a crystal. So go ahead and take a deep searching breath in, make space for this reading, guys. See which crystal you're most drawn to. If you need a bit more time to make your decision, pause the video because we're going to go ahead and get started with option number 1. Option number 1, hi and welcome to your reading. If you were drawn to the citrine crystal, let's go ahead and take a look at what is it that your future self wants to warn you about. What is it that you need to know at this particular time? We're going to be starting with tarot, and then I have a couple more oracle decks waiting over here to give us some insights. Let's take a look at the main energies of your message today. It looks like you're not accepting some sort of healing, some sort of ending. Why are you not letting yourself heal? What's interesting is that I'm picking up this energy that you have been doing this healing, that you wanted to come towards this healing. But with this 2 of Pentacles, it's almost like you're not accepting the end, you're not accepting the healing, you're not giving yourself the credit that's due. Your future self wants you to know that the faster you release something, the faster you accept an ending of something, the faster you can heal. But it's almost like this energy where you're afraid of dropping the ball, you're afraid of starting something afresh, you are afraid that if you let go of this trauma, if you let go of the drama, then this new thing that's going to come along, it's like you're going to F up, it's like you're going to mess up. And your future self is warning you that you're stalling, that you're procrastinating for no reason. Let's take a look at the shadow. And lots of you guys could be Sagittarius. Let's take a look at which shadow your future self wants you to take a look at. The shadow aspects of yourself. Sacrifice. So it looks like a lot of you guys have sacrificed so much time, money, effort, knowledge, energy, and you have been in this energy of sacrifice for a very long time. And now the time has come where your future self wants you to know that you can overcome this. You can overcome this very damaging way of thinking, this pattern that's been sort of holding you back, where you felt like you had to sacrifice, you always had to give something to receive something. It's that sort of energy. You never really felt like the world loves you enough just to give something to you just like that. I always have this analogy with cats. Cats do nothing to be loved. They're just there. And a lot of cats have this this mood, this foul mood pretty much most of the time. And you just felt like you had to constantly sacrifice, and you became so comfortable with the idea of having to sacrifice things that your future self is coming through, like literally with a warning and ringing a bell. Listen, you've been working through this and you've been doing such a great job, but now why are you stalling? You're not allowing yourself to heal. If it's coming through for some of you that you guys are just realizing that you have this destructive way of behaving where you constantly feel like you have to sacrifice things, sacrifice your happiness, sacrifice your health for the benefit of, I don't know even who. Maybe you're thinking about tomorrow. Maybe you're somebody who keeps thinking it's going to get better tomorrow, or something's going to happen tomorrow. Like you keep thinking you have this purpose that deserves the sacrifice. Even if I have to break apart, as long as it serves a purpose. But it doesn't, does it? Anymore, really. And with this Temperance, it's like you've entered this healing process, but with the Two of Pentacles, I'm seeing that you're still afraid of like what's new, what is going to happen if you release this. Let this circle, the thing is, like, you keep hurting yourself, you keep sacrificing. See, you have the Sword over here. Yeah. And you have all the swords over here. But it's like, when it comes to holding the remedy, when it comes to holding the healing liquid or the healing energies, it's like you're afraid you're going to drop it. So your future self is coming through with the warning saying, let yourself heal. Stop coming back to the old memories where you keep hurting yourself all over and over and over again, and where you keep doubting yourself, or where you keep saying that you can't achieve something. You can see now, you can see this destructive pattern of sacrifice. Like there's no way of going back. The future self is warning you that you need to take that step forwards. Otherwise, this is going to last for longer than it needs to. I think it's time for an energetic clean. Like, you need to... It's not like you've dusted and the dust settles again and you're like, okay, what's the point of dusting if it's just going to settle again? And it's like, no, you need to keep going on your healing process. Cleansing. This talks very much about a detox. A detox. A time out that you need to see like what's been bringing you down, what has been this very interesting energy that I'm picking up, that something that you thought was helping you was actually hurting you. For some of you, you went too much into spirituality and you sacrificed, a lot of things, thinking that you're doing it for your best, but you actually took away from yourself. For some of you, you sacrificed for children. For some of you, you sacrificed for relationships, for your parents, for whomever. Some of you even sacrificed your dreams. Some of you might be feeling very afraid because I have this energy coming through. Your future self is coming through and saying you're very much protected. This talks about a magical circle. This talks about protection. This talks about inner strength. And this beautiful card, when it's in reverse, talks about a very strong psyche, a very strong mental health, but you keep doubting yourself. You have a very strong mental health, but there's a part of you that keeps saying, okay, well, I need to sacrifice a lot of things to protect myself. And they're saying you're always safe, but you're sort of downplaying yourself. You literally are downplaying yourself. They're saying you need to cry things out. You don't need to be this warrior. You don't need to be strong all the time. Cry all those emotions out. If you need to scream them out, scream them out. If you need to punch a pillow, punch a pillow. But don't hold on to this pain longer than you need to. Stop standing in the way of your own healing. Let yourself heal already so that you can move on. So that you can see that you're not going to drop anything. You're not going to drop the ball. You're not going to mess up. Or even if you do, then you can still pick up and from where you left off, or you can try something new. But it's about movement. And stop hurting yourself over and over and over again. Like, what do you think happens if you keep thinking about the same thing over and over again? Nothing changes. Like, you keep trying to change the outcome in your mind to something that already happened, and it's not going to change. So your future self is warning you that you might just be stealing time away from yourself, from the happy self that you can be. And stop, like they're saying, stop sacrificing. Why did you take on this martyr energy? Like somebody who has to suffer and somebody who has to sacrifice. Who told you that? Question it. Empower, uplift, elevate. Exactly. It's time. It's time to become empowered. Pearl, what a beautiful name. Interesting. Yeah, Phoenix. I thought it was Phoenix. Phoenix rising. So some of you guys might associate with the Phoenix. Some of you guys might have like a nickname, Phoenix. But whatever it is, it's time to rise up from the flames. It's time to elevate yourself. And let me pull one last card for you. It's a warning and advice from your future self. Hold your vision. Exactly. This is exactly what I was just feeling. That you can achieve. You have to start believing. You have to start believing. Little by little, even if it's just baby steps. You have to start believing and you have to hold your vision. It's time to focus on healing. It's time to focus on letting yourself heal. And it's time to focus your vision on other possibilities that you might not be seeing at this particular moment. So I'm going to end your reading here, option number 1. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it resonated. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you don't miss out any of my other upcoming videos. For personal readings, you could always email me. My email's in the description box below. So is the link to my Patreon page with more exclusive content, additional discounts, love magic, protection magic, and much, much more. So make sure to check it out. Alright, my lovelies, take good care of your amazing selves now. Bye. Option number 2 with an amethyst. Hi and welcome to your reading. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be starting with tarot. Let's go ahead and take a look at what your future self wants you to know now. What your future self wants to warn you about. Let's take the main energies over here. Okay, option number 2. My darlings, get ready to talk about love. Your future self wants to talk about love. You need to really weigh all the pros and cons when it comes to love, to a specific love interest you might have now. It's time for you to get a completion of some sort, to get closure. But very much like option number one, you're denying yourself this closure, you're denying yourself this full stop. The world, when it comes in reverse, talks very much about not being able to get this closure, not having a feeling of putting a full stop, or not being able to come together with somebody. For some of you, they're saying that you're waiting for love that can't come through because you're upside down, if that makes sense. The energies of love, you're not ready to receive. When the world is here, you're ready to receive. You got your closure, you got your victory, you're feeling all sexy. Here, you are like, nah. Let's, let me get more information from the shadow. Because I'm getting quite a few energies, like this is meant for quite a few of you. But let me see what your shadow aspect is going to say about this. Envious gluttony. All right. You need to be discerning with people. Your future self wants you to know, and actually coming through with a very strong warning about the type of people you let into your life. A lot of people coming here hungry for your resources. A lot of people coming here angry at themselves and the world, and hungry for your energy. This is coming through as a bit of like a dark and heavy energy that's coming. Your future self wants to warn you about being discerning when it comes to love. Even the energy that is coming through now, it's like, if I could explain it, it's like it's a little bit sticky. It's almost like you keep attracting the wrong type of people. And so you sort of decided to isolate yourself from the world because you keep thinking about, men being a certain way, women being a certain way. And you're waiting for your Prince Charming, but funny enough, when you're waiting for that Prince Charming, you turned away from the world and you have isolated yourself. Whether energetically or actually physically, you're avoiding people, or even when you go out, you tend to not have this connection. It's like you keep looking for the one. But an interesting thing is, it's like the energy of the past isn't being cut off, isn't being released. It's almost like you're energetically carrying those people's energies. So your future self is coming through and saying it's time for a cleanse. It's time for a cleanse, and it's time to go out back into the world. And they keep saying this has so much to do with love. They're saying you keep waiting, but you've isolated yourself because of this pain, because of this energy from the past. And for some of you guys who you're wondering about, I'm going to have a separate reading probably on Patreon, like why this person came into my life. But for some of you, your future self is saying you really have to take a step back and you really have to think with your head now. It's almost like this warning where, like, pay attention to the red flags. Pay attention to the red flags. What is this person saying? What is this person doing? How's this person affecting you? Your future self is saying take a step back and reevaluate with the Seven of Pentacles how your life has changed with the appearance of this person in it. How have they impacted you? Not what they promised, but what they did and how you feel. Do you feel loved? Or do you feel tolerated? Do they appear whenever they wish, or are they there when you need them? People could be gossiping about you. And a lot of you are very young. For option number 2, it doesn't matter what your age is. I'm reading the energy, a youthful energy. Sometimes you can be very naive. Very naive. They're also telling you to stop criticizing yourself. Your future self is coming through and giving you a warning to stop that negative talk. Stop that negative talk. And they're saying not all frogs that you're going to kiss are going to turn into princes. You might be the type of person who likes to see the best in people even when it's not there. So your future self is coming through with a warning saying you need to be discerning. You need to really open up your eyes. And if you feel like you've been isolated by somebody else, then it's one of those red flags that I've just been mentioning. Another thing that's coming through from your future self is that you don't see how beautiful and valuable you are. Somebody either, like this energy of toxicity, honestly. Like toxicity through talk. And they're saying be discerning with who you spend your time with, because there are a lot of people who are just trying to get your energy. Some people might come to you for help, and your future self is saying, listen, not everybody who comes to you for help needs help. Sometimes what they need is like attention. You need to put yourself at the center of the world, at the center of the universe. You've been giving your energy way too much to people. When you yourself are starving. Starving for love, starving for affection, starving for self-expression, for your sensuality to be accepted and not mocked or ridiculed, or for your sexuality not to be critiqued. Facing your true north. Powerful. Devotion. She who remains. Interesting. Both on the throne. It's like you need to find your throne and effing claim it. This is what you need to do. Your future self is saying, listen, you need to be not feeling like you're like just, you know, I mean, look at those energies. Look at how empowered she is. Look at the purity. Look at the whiteness. Look at the light where she's seen compared to this dark energy. With like those clothes that have seen better days. And do you see what I mean? Like you're a queen or a king, or you're a princess or a prince, and there are people who are trying to make you feel that you're less than that. She who resists, fearless, justified, resistant. Exactly. Time to say no. Boundaries. Very much about boundaries, option number 2. Your future self is warning you that you need to set boundaries so that later on you don't feel like there's people taking your energy or taking advantage of you. You need to set your boundaries. You need to have this inner resistance. And the last card as advice or warning from your future self for you, option number 2. Nothing is yet set in stone. Clarification. The answers you seek are coming. So when it comes to, again, dealing with somebody you might have already met, the answers that you need are definitely going to be coming through. Nothing is yet set in stone. You might have been told that, you have to make a decision and this is it. You can change your decision. Now your future self is coming through and saying, listen, you might have thought that, this is the outcome that's going to come. This is the life that you're going to lead. This is how things are going to end, or this is how things are going to go on. And no. You can resist, you can change, you can alter things. Your fate is in your hands. Your fate is in your hands, option number 2. Alright, I think I'm going to end your reading here. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it resonated. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you don't miss out any of my other upcoming videos. For personal readings, send me an email. My email is in the description box below. So is the link to my Patreon page with more exclusive content, additional discounts, love magic, protection magic, polls, and much, much more. Alright, my darlings, take good care of your amazing selves now. Bye. Option number 3, hi and welcome to your reading. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at what is it that your future self wants you to know, what they want to warn you about. Let's take a look at the main energies. Looks like quite a few of you for option number 3, you're not following your path when it comes to your calling. There's a very strong difficulty when it comes to accepting getting paid for what you deserve. This energy where you get paid and then you just want to really spend it really quickly. It's this subconscious thing where you feel like you don't deserve this money or you don't deserve to have money, so you tend to overspend or you tend to accumulate a lot of debt because you're not allowing yourself to be comfortable. You're not allowing yourself to experience this financial stability. So a lot of you might be doing something that you, well, if not hate, then something that you're definitely not resonating with. A lot of you are hiding from collaborations with people because you feel like you don't really have anything substantial to bring, or you have been critiqued a lot when you were little. And for others of you, what I'm picking up is that if you do have this job or if you are already collaborating with people, it's still not making you happy. So your future self is coming through and saying a word of advice, my past darling, but how about we walk away from all of this BS? Yes, with a heavy heart. Yes, walking away from something that used to be your comfort zone, but you need to find your own path. Because they keep repeating that you need to find your value, you need to find your worth, you need to find your calling. So for quite a few of you, this could be talking about a change in career or a change in what you believe you are worth. Because you're very talented, but it's almost like you're getting peanuts. Let's take a look at your shadow attribute here. What's the main shadow attribute that might be holding you back or affecting you during this time? Fated to suffer. Exactly what I was saying. You feel like you're fated to suffer. You feel like you constantly need to battle the universe. You need to battle the world. But this card, the shadow aspect of this card, actually talks about shifting your perception to thinking maybe this isn't Snow White, and maybe this isn't a witch, and maybe this apple isn't poisoned. They're saying the scenarios that you have in your head don't necessarily have to become true. But a lot of you who picked this option, you feel like you're fated to suffer. You feel like the world is a very unfriendly place. And it's very difficult to make money, and it's very difficult to work with people, and it's very competitive. Some of you, there's a lot of self-sabotage that's coming through in this particular option. Sometimes when things get too good, you tend to self-sabotage. So the warning from your future self for option number 3 so far, from what I can see, is that you have this energy where you feel like you're fated to suffer, so you tend to subconsciously choose the path that's going to give you the most suffering. And it could potentially be because when you were little, the only time where you felt cared for is when you were in trouble, and then people would come. And you would think, you would associate then this care with love. So subconsciously you keep repeating self-sabotaging things so that people will come through and help you. But your future self is saying it's time for you to get a new scenario in your head. Not all tales are true, and not everything you think is going to be negative is going to be negative. Because they keep saying you have a lot more potential when it comes to money, when it comes to working. And you can walk away from it. You can walk away from this comfort zone of feeling uncomfortable. Let's take a look at the Wicca Oracle. Yeah, you're not seeing things clearly whatsoever. A lot of illusions, a lot of misguidance, a lot of... It's like, somebody hypnotized you. It's that sort of energy. A lot of resources being wasted on God knows what. A lot of you are psychics. A lot of you guys are very, very psychic. Very psychic. With the High Priestess over here. But for some reason, it's like your eyes are closed and your third eye isn't picking up the energies it should be. You're not trusting your intuition. You're not connecting. A lot of you are being misguided. This is what I keep picking up. So your future self is coming through with this warning that you're like heading in the wrong direction. Like if it feels that heavy, if it feels that boring, if it feels like, and you think it's like it's the way it should be. Because you probably heard somebody say like, oh, do you think life is easy? Or, you know, like hard things are, you know, like good things have to come hard. You know, all of this. All of these things that were said to people who weren't free so that they would keep working, you know, and one of those mind games. And you're very psychic and you don't use your psychic abilities. She who surprises, surprise, discovery, revelation. Exactly. With all those beautiful butterflies, there is an energy of a transformation. But what it is talking about over here is this vibe where you're going to be seeing things more clearly. Your future self's coming through and saying you're going to have a lot of surprises and discoveries and revelations. And it's going to be almost shocking to the system how somebody made you believe something that was completely opposite to reality, to the truth. This talks for a lot of you, this talks about your self-worth, about how the world actually sees you compared to what you think it sees you like or as. Observe, persevere, and scrutinize. She who sees. This is very much about seeing, guys. Very much about changing your perception. Very much about being discerning, about observing, and listening to your inner compass and following your inner compass. Because your inner compass can really guide you out of a lot of things. For a lot of you, again, we're talking about a job, we're talking about money, we're talking about being abundant and prosperous rather than self-sabotaging yourself when it comes to the quality of your life and to the quality of your life that you can have. A lot of you are questioning whether you can have like a good home, you know, a good job, a nice car, abundance when it comes to, you know, family life. You guys are questioning yourself way too much. Let's take a look at the last card. As advice and guidance and a warning from your future self. For you, option number 3. Interesting. So we have a new romantic cycle begins. A lot of Libra energy. So if you guys again have been wondering about also what you can supposedly bring to a relationship, to the table in a relationship, they're saying that your perception of that is going to change as well. And a new romantic cycle is coming through, so we have a new romance coming your way. So maybe you guys have been wondering, you're like, yeah, Blashily, I understand the money, calling, this and that, but is love coming my way? Yes, absolutely. Love is coming your way, my option number 3. All right, my darlings, I'm going to end your reading here. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it resonated. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you don't miss out any of my other upcoming videos. For personal readings, you could always email me. My email's in the description box below. So is the link to my Patreon page with more exclusive content, additional discounts, love magic, protection magic, and much, much more. Make sure to check it out. All right, my darlings, take good care of your amazing selves now. Bye.